Hey everybody, Jimmy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking scalp trades. I took 2 of them, took 3R profit. Pretty exciting start to the week. Let's jump in. All right, thanks for stopping in today. Great Monday. I made all of my trades today on AMD. So I just want to break those down, sort of talk about what I saw, show you my trades. They were scalp trades today, so sort of interesting. If you've been following the channel, you know I've been doing a lot of 3 and 4 bar plays, and if you have questions about what a 3 bar play is or a 4 bar play, just check out some of the previous videos and you can get an idea for what those are. But these trades today were on AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, and they were quick scalp trades based on a friction point, based on a line that had significance. And when the price action got to that line, there was sort of a decision to be made. Are we going to bounce off that line, or are we going to breach that line? And on the breach is when I took the trade. It ended up being one trade, and then sort of a few minutes later, followed up by a second trade. So I'm going to show those to you. But first of all, I just want to show you this gorgeous chart on AMD. You know, I don't look at the weekly charts all the time, but this one's well worth it. If you look at this thing, you can see AMD had a big blast up to 34, and then it pulled way back. And then if you kind of come out a little bit, let me back this out just a tiny bit here. So when you see this consolidation down here with this big rip up, it came back down basically almost to support over this consolidation period, and then started working its way back up. Now if I zoom back in, you can see we bounced up, came down and had this bounce, worked our way up, had another almost touch, then we came down a full touch, another touch, another touch. So AMD is just beautifully riding this trend line that I've kind of drawn in to connect the bottoms here. And you can see that every time it pulls back, the buyers come in earlier and earlier to soak that up and push it higher. Now, the interesting thing about this pattern that we're getting right now, which is sort of an ascending wedge, is it hasn't broken this 3430 line. It's touched it twice, but we're starting to get bought up quicker and quicker each time. So we're going to be working into this peak of this wedge, and we're going to be at another friction point. We're either going to sell off and pop and go lower, or we're going to rip up higher pretty violently. So pretty soon, in the next maybe even month or so, we're going to start to see some interesting friction in here. Things are going to get tight, and volume might come up. People are going to start to take note of this, and we might get a good push up, especially if the SPY continues to go to all-time highs. If we get a break above the all-time high, we set an all-time high on Friday, and if we can do that again soon, that might carry AMD right up above this breakout point at 3430. So something to keep an eye on. So let's jump into the 5-minute time frame. Hey, so how's the video so far? If you like it, give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, let's jump back in. So today, I'm just watching this at the open, and you can see this dotted line on here. This was the previous day's close. So this is the close from Friday. So I was just watching that in combination with the SPY and just keeping track of what was happening in the markets. And if we had a breach below that line, I was going to take a quick scalp trade. So you can see right here, this candle right here breached below and actually closed below the Friday's closing price. So when it did that, I placed an order a penny below the low. Got triggered in here, and the low on this one is 28.95. So I placed my order at 28.94, and I needed to see a push down to 84, and of course we got a push down to 67 on the one candle. So this was a quick 2-to-1. I was risking 5 cents to gain 10, and I got the 2-to-1 really quickly on that. And then it sort of dojied and reversed course, And since we had this clearing, we moved away from the previous day's closing price, and then we worked right back up to Friday's closing price. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe we're going to touch and then roll over and go lower. But we got another breach. So when this candle closed, the high on this one was 29.16, so I placed my order at 29.17, and then this candle pushed up, and I needed to get to 27. It went right to 27, so another 2 to 1 there. It stalled a bit, so what happened was it paused, then pushed higher again, pulled back and paused, pushed higher again, and after a couple of those without going to target, I flattened my position early for a little over 1R. So not typically what I want to be doing, but I already had 2R on the day. I saw a little over 1 more R. It was going to be a 3R day, so I just closed the position and called it. So I'd like to get out of that habit moving forward, but when you're having, this is one of the best trading days I've had ever, being 3R. I typically do not bring in 3R in one day. So this was a really big day for me, a really huge day. So I went ahead and did that. And then funny enough, again, you may remember from last week, I wrote a covered call. I executed a buy right on AMD on 100 shares. It's an option, it's a covered call. So I went ahead and sold one contract on that last week, and it's going to be expiring on July 12th. Well, I went ahead and did the same thing on AMD today. I wrote another contract right at $29 right here, and for another 100 shares to also expire on July 12th, as I'm trying to just build a little position size on AMD going forward so that I can write covered calls against these shares. So again, if you have interest in that, let me know. I'll continue to mention and talk about those because they're kind of an interesting way of maybe just taking on some lower risk, bringing in some lower risk profit during your month while you're also day trading equities. They seem to be a nice match. They seem to go hand in hand, and so I've been kind of taking a stab at those, and it's been really interesting, and there's a lot to learn. And so far, I just really like it. So comment, let me know if you guys also write covered calls on existing positions that you have. So I went ahead and got, I got a covered call written here at 29.03 to go long, and as you can see, I got a nice pop, and then it just trickled out for the rest of the day. So day ended up closing at 29.25. So that call right now is up, and the strike on that call is $31. And my strike from last week is $31.50. So I have 200 share, one contract covered calls, one with a strike price of $31.50 and another one with a strike price of $31. So we'll be tracking those. They'll both expire on July 12th. And then at that point, I'll be looking to write another covered call, but I'll do it on the whole position, all 200 shares, to move forward into early August. So I'll keep you posted on that. But anyway, hope you guys had a green day. Check in again tomorrow. We're going to keep hammering away at this. Green is good. See you tomorrow.